good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Was waiting here trying to see if anyone chimed in live, but I am going to go ahead and get started because I have a lot more to do today. So I hope your day is going wonderfully well, as is mine. Just came back from a speaking engagement, so you know my heart is clapping. So I hope your day is going just as well and your life. I am Sherlyn Dorsey, creator and founder of You're More Than Their Mother and author of You're More Than Their Mother, Reclaim, Realign, and Rebalance Your Life. So today is Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and I am just checking in. I just gave a talk and the topic of that talk was overcoming obstacles, becoming a no-limit person. Now, it is absolutely one of my biggest hits, if you will, one of my most requested topics, especially when I'm talking to younger people. And I don't know, in the school settings, it just seems like they love it a lot. It, of course, is a very poignant and timely talk for the high schoolers as well as the teachers and things like that, but it's just something that has some pointers in it, I think, that resonates with everybody, and it transcends age, gender, all of that good stuff. But the reason I am on here today is because of one specific step that I talk about in my topic of overcoming obstacles, and that one is being of service to the world. Now, that stood out to me today, and it made me, of course, think of my tribe and the people who I work with and assist and speak to, because this is something that, in my opinion, we struggle with. And when I say struggle, meaning struggle to find balance of how we serve people and not end up getting used. So I want to talk to you about that from two different perspectives. One, I want to talk to you about that from the business perspective. Okay, so we'll start there this time. From a business perspective, let me give you my own example. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a speaker and an author. So I am paid to do what it is that I love. One thing that I do every year is I set out an intention or a specific number of in-kind talks that I will give. It can be from wherever it is that I choose, because I may just get an inkling, and it could have nothing to do with my tribe of people who are normally attracted to me and resonate with me. But if I'm inclined to do something for someone, I allow myself the flexibility to do it. So let's just say at the beginning of the year, typically is when this happens, I may say, I want to do 4 in-kind talks this year. So wherever I'm moved or motivated to do that, I'll sign up, say yes, and then I go from there. That is important to do to me, because what happens is people oftentimes, especially local businesses and sometimes even larger businesses, they will try to get you to come out to their establishment and do what it is that you do for free. They want to tell you about how it's not in the budget. They'll tell you about how they can't pay for that right now and all those things. And really, to me, wow, son. Wow. That's the original son, huh? Yes. Okay. I think that's a little better. But what they want to do is tell you about how it is they can't pay you, how it is it's not in the budget, or whatever it is. And what it is they don't value what it is that you do as much as you do. And every time you make an agreement that is outside of what you said that you would do, you are saying, I agree with you. I'm not of the value that I say that I am. Now, that may be extreme to some people, but when you are a business, you really have to think of it in that aspect. You have to realize that you are of value. What it is that you do, the information it is that you bring, it is your intellectual property. This is something that you have used your life as an example and for the research, and then taking the time to put it together in a usable format and transferring that knowledge over to other people in order to motivate them. You are absolutely worth every dollar that it is that you charge. And anybody who says that you're not, you shouldn't be speaking there. Now, when I say being of service to someone, let's kind of double back there. I talked about identifying the people or the number of in-kind or non-paid speaking engagements. And I'm using again myself as an example. Anytime that I choose to do that and identify how many it is that I want, sorry guys, this is a sneeze. Whew. I feel it tickling my nose. But anytime I do that, then anytime I make acceptance when someone says, can you come and speak to us? We don't have the budget around it. If it resonates with me, then I'll say, absolutely, I'll be there. I'll show up. That is me being of service, not being used. When people want you to do something for free and it does not serve you as well as them, you're being used. Okay? When people tell you you're not worth or they don't have what it is that you're asking for, but still want something from you, you are being used. Here's the thing. You get to determine if that works for you or not. And I want you to think about it and say, and I want you to think about it realistically and say, does it serve me in order for me to be here or to do this thing it is that they're asking me to do? If it does not, don't do it. That means your intention is off and it won't show up in the way that you wanted to give it anyway. Have enough courage to say, no, I can't do that for whatever reason. In actuality, no is a complete sentence. So nothing really even needs to accompany that. Okay. Now I want to talk about that personally. Now, of course, you know, once again, I love our women and our moms, but excuse me. So I'll use them for an example. How often is it that we do that as women and moms? We are so often willing to give up what it is that we want in order to give something to someone else. And we dress it up and use words like service and I just like helping people. And while I'm not saying that we don't like to do that, anytime that you do it to a fault, you are being used. And when it's to a fault, that means when you are not handling your own business, when it gets in the way of you completing your goals, when it gets in the way of you moving forward on your task, you're not being of service to anyone. Actually, you're not solving any problems. You're just creating a new problem. And the new problem starts off with you being used. So now, with that being said, I'm not telling you that everybody who is looking for something for you has a malicious intent. It's up to you to take into consideration your goals, what it is that you want to do, and what it is that you've set out to do. And then match that with your actions. Match that with what it is that you'll accept and what it is that you'll decline. That makes sense? Let me know. Chime back. Give me some feedback and tell me if this made sense to you or if there's an area in your life that you maybe need to go back in and look at and say, you know what? I actually was being used in this circumstance. And again, I want to reiterate, it's not always a bad thing that you're being used. It could just mean that, you know what? I noticed this and I'm going to make a different decision because people are always operating in their agenda. So they perhaps could have really needed what it is that they're asking for. But just because they need it doesn't mean you should be the one to give it to them all the time. Learn how to say no. Set parameters. Okay, so I hope that helps someone. If you enjoyed it, definitely please share. Definitely send me some feedback so that I can know that, yes, I like it. No, this made no sense to me. Whatever it is that looks like. In the meantime, it's time to move beyond everyone else's expectations of who you ought to be and become the woman you thought you could be. Bye.